James here and welcome to another episode on R consoles. Today we'll be starting a new series known as the Retro Restore section. Almost got that wrong there. I know that I've got so many series going on at the moment, but this is the one series that I really wanted to do. This is the one that wanted me to start making YouTube videos in the first place, and this is the one that I really thought that this is going to be the one. So today's episode, Retro Restore, as I said, we're going to start off with a very simple console. We're going to take it apart, give it a good clean, make sure it's working effectively and correctly, and put it back together. So let's get into this. First things are a couple of screwdrivers, a ice cube tray, which is not a necessity, but it's always there, good if you need it, and normally some anti-static gloves. Now I haven't got any anti-static gloves, they are on order, but usually when dealing with any sort of electrical item, you want to be using some sort of anti-static or something that you're earthed to, so that you don't affect the motherboard with your own natural static that humans produce. So the other thing that you could do with, but you don't need necessity, is like an ice cube tray. So I've got an ice cube tray here. What I am going to do is the screws that I've removed, I'm going to put them in the ice cube tray, so that I can keep them in sections and know which screws go where. The other things you're going to need are a Phillips crosshead screwdriver, nice and simple. And the other one you're going to need is this special tool. Now, it looks like a screwdriver, but this is actually a tri-wing screwdriver. This is the common screw head used by Nintendo, and they use that because obviously they didn't want people getting into their consoles easily. So, not a common screw to have, tri-wing, but definitely need this to open it up. There's the console. The first thing I've done is obviously take away the power supply, because obviously don't be working on consoles when they still catch power. So the first thing I'm going to have to do on this is remove the 6 screws across the back. So here we go. There we go, loosened up. We'll do flip it on its side. Flip it over and see which screws came out. All 3 of them, perfect. They go in that one section. Just slowly open this up. Okay, so already you can see that there's a cable there. Let's see if that pops off. Could be delicate with these. What I'm going to do instead then, I'm just going to pull this ribbon cable out. So, perfect. And there we have it, the inside of the DMG 01. We've got a couple of screws here to remove, which I'm going to need a normal screwdriver for. A few Phillips screws there, and a few on the other side. So I'm going to start off with the front part, so I'm going to move the back away. And this is the front part. So I'm going to use my Phillips screwdriver head, and I'm going to start removing these screws. Doesn't feel like these screws have ever been removed, they're still a little bit tight, so that's good. Move them out and I'll put them in my ice cube tray. Now the good thing about having the ice cube tray there is that the 2 sections, I can keep the right hand side for the front and the left hand side for the back. And I've said that out loud because if I forget, I can always go back and check it. Always back up everything whatever you're doing, because you don't want to mess it up. So I'll just quickly remove these, skip through the video a bit, and then come back to you when I'm done. And there we have it. Now all the screws are removed on that side. That's one side, and time to remove them on the back. Again, just following through, removing the screws on the back panel, and then I'll go back to the front half and we can start dismantling that, taking the main cover off, and we can look at the circuitry and then go and put it through a nice soapy bath. So here we are back to the front. I'm hoping this motherboard just lifts out. I don't want to obviously break it. I have seen somewhere that sometimes you've got a little twist. There we go, give it a little twist and guide it out. There's a couple of pillars at the top half there. These two that need a bit of wiggling. There we go. Perfect. And here we are. This here is the front of DMG01. This is a 93, so not too bad. You can see there's some sort of, visible wear on this motherboard. I don't know if you're going to see it on camera. Just here. Round the top here, you see that? And this is the screen. It's been in very nice condition. Very good. And there's obviously some dirt on the speaker. So this is where the isopropyl alcohol will come in, and I can use that to clean it. So now, obviously we got the buttons, somewhat dirty, but not majorly, not as much as I thought they would be for a it's almost 30 years old, this console. 30 years old, Jesus. But these all need a good clean in some soapy water. So let's just push that one out and lift it out for the two buttons. And there we have it. Dismantled, disassembled, and ready for a clean. Same procedure follows through on the back. Try and remove this, make sure I've got all the screws out. That bit's off. Remove the top switch there. Very cool switch in that indeed. I'll show you something about that in the end because it's one of my favourite features of this Game Boy. Anything else? I think that should just now pop out. Grab it there. Give it a little twist, give it a little wiggle. Might be. There we go. And there's that one. Again, here's your volume control, which put a bit of isopropyl alcohol in there to make it easy to move. Some isopropyl alcohol in there, and in all the buttons, and across the on and off switch. It's a bit stiff, so it needs a little bit there. And there we have it. So that's the second half. And there's the back. Now, as you can see, there's 4 more screws here to remove this metal plate, which is incredibly clean. I have a feeling that someone may have been in here before me, but we shall see. Dirt in the corners here. To be honest, just from the tracks alone, it doesn't look like it's been used much. So maybe it was a rebuild. But as you can see, dirt on the back here. So either way, we'll carry on with it. And remove that part. Some wear and tear on that, so it has been used recently. And there we have it. Ooh, hang on. Slide this bit out. There we go. Push that metal prong in. Push that down. And that slides out like that. Perfect. We've got another one down the bottom here as well. One. There's 2. And then open, 1, 2. Both of them out as well, look at that, perfect. So now it's time to take this for a clean. There's soapy sink and a toothbrush, I think. Now when cleaning, on bigger projects, I tend to use a toothbrush, but because this is quite a small, a Q-tip will do it nicely. It absorbs the isopropyl alcohol quite well. We're going to start with the front of the board, just going to give it a wipe down where the buttons would go. As we can, I'll see if I can show you on here. See this line here where I said it was dirty earlier? That isopropyl alcohol has taken that straight off. Give it a good clean, give all our contacts a good clean, and this should bring some life into our board. So just be careful when using Q-tips though, because obviously you don't want to be leaving a load of cotton behind. You want to be keeping the board as clean as you can. So just give the contacts a quick clean where our buttons would go. I'll just give this bit of the board a little bit of a quick clean as well, nothing special. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the other end of the Q-tip, swapped it around. I'm going to give this speaker a nice little clean. It's got a plastic cover on it. Try and get as much of that rubbish on it as possible. All that dirt coming off it, look. I don't know if you can see that very well. There we go. So that is just from the speaker alone. And that's quite simply that half. So nothing special. Now I get a fresh Q-tip. Now I'll move to the back. Now the back's got a few more areas to use some IPA on. So I'll just leave the board a quick once over anyway, just across. Just give it a quick clean, you know, clean up this area here. Clean up that contact area there. A quick clean there. I'm going to just give it a quick clean on the back of these runs. The areas we do need to look at are this area, switch, this area, the extension cable, the headphones, the jack there, the pinion wheel for the volume, and the inside of the cartridge reader. So I'm just going to give that a quick wipe across. Realistically, for this, I should be using a toothbrush because A, the dust ain't going to get into it, and B, it penetrates deeper. Again, just put a bit of this IPA on the switch here. Give it a nice healthy coating on the side and give it a few flicks there to help spread the IPA nicely. Again, just get a little bit in there, clean the contacts up. There you go. And a little bit on this side, just to clean that contact up. Now, last little bit here, this wheel, put a bit on the top, a bit on the side, and just give it a nice, open it up, close it up, open it up, close it up. Just really get that moving. And the last point, I think, would be the headphone jack. It's always a good idea as well, after you've cleaned the board, to clean the contact pads with a bit of isopropyl alcohol. Like I'm doing here, this is for the D pad. Giving it a quick wipe with the Q-tip. Use the other side to collect any extra dust. And we can flip it over. These are the contacts really that we've got to look at. So these are where they contact the board. It's always good to give them a nice clean, so contact is fresh between both. Then again with the buttons ones, look at all the dirt on that. I'm just going to change that Q-tip quickly. Fresh Q-tip, really get around it, get in there. See all that dirt coming out of this already. Tipping on this side there, it's just satisfying that. Look at all the dirt on that Q-tip. Disgusting. Give that a clean around there. And then flip over and repeat the process on this side. Start and pause buttons. And again, the contacts on the back are mainly the main points of interest for us here. As you can see, I've given it a good clean. All of that dirt's removed from the back. All the dirt from inside here is removed by that there, which I believe looks like plastic burn from where the injection moulding would have happened. Same again on this side, I've been cleaned. I can feel the glue on this side, which is good. And the front, and this, I don't know if you can see on this camera, but there's definitely yellowing, which is what you'd expect from a camera of such a, from a console of such age. There's the camera, and that's why I got confused there. Anyway, I'm going to start with the back because it's the most intricate part. So again, we'll take our sections, our buttons, and we'll insert them again into the area. So positive, negative, positive, negative. So slide that one in there, and it clicks in, and then that should sit in there perfectly. Very nice. Same again, positive, negative, slides in. The next bit, top, same again, should just slide in. So negative, positive, that slides in like so, and click, and we're in. Perfect. There we go, like so, with the 2 prongs at the top there. Now, as all my screws are in order, which is great for me, get my first one, and we'll start screwing in. Now, when doing this, I do like to go across the screw points, so diagonals. Just helps everything set in to their correct positions a bit better. It stops everything being one-sided and locked-sided, as you could say. So there's the next bit there. And we'll carry this one through until all 4 of them are in. So there's them 4 in. Perfect. Now, what's next? The motherboard, I believe. So we look here, we've got 2 slots down here, which this bit goes into there. So we'll slide that down there like so. Perfect. That one should then, well, it should be right there. Look at that, nice and easy. Straight in, everything in its place. Put the on button in. Perfect. That's on, brilliant. So that's the bottom section screwed in. And then the 2 to the top, which, if I remember rightly, go here. Come focus, there we go, perfect. So that's the back half done. Now we move on to the front half. Everything's been cleaned up, make sure everything's dry. Now we move onto the front part of our console. This bit here with the ribbon cable, our volume switch, and our speaker. Now our speaker sits nicely in there with the cable running around the outside. Should be an easy fit. However, I've forgotten the main thing there, the buttons. It would help if the buttons went in, wouldn't it? So that's the first one with its contact, 2 pins there, as you can see. That should fit in nicely. There we go, there's one. Put a slight lift on it. And number 2. Yeah, these go in, should be 1, 2. Again, applying the hooks of that. And finally, the buttons for the start and stop. Perfect. Now we can introduce the motherboard. So, perfect. Look at that. Slot straight in. Lift it up a bit. There we go. Now I've got my buttons in the front, like so, and the screen is back where it needs to be. So I'll put these screws in here, and then we'll look at putting it back together. So there we go, all the screws in, everything back together. Time to put this ribbon cable in. It's a difficult angle to get a good angle on this, so just gonna, I believe that's in now. Put that in the wrong way around, that's always good. There we go. And perfect. Back together. Let's just get these last screws in. And that will be this restoration complete. That is the end of the Retro Restore DMG 01. Perfect. So guys, there you have it. The first retro restoration video complete. The teardown of the DMG 01 Game Boy. Now, the moment of truth. Because if I put batteries in this and it doesn't work, we have a problem. And the video may have to be a lot longer than it already is. So, 4 batteries in. Volume, contrast up to the max, volume up to the max, power off. Here we go. Red light is a sound. Is there anything on the screen? Hang on, let's check the contrast is correct. Oh no, tell a lie. There is stuff on the screen. This is good. So, that's that. It's always a good feeling when you complete something and restored it and turned it down and cleaned it for it to still work at the end of it. So that's very good news. Anyway guys, there's plenty more of this to come. I've got plenty more consoles that I'd like to take apart and fix and clean. So if it's something that interests you and you enjoy this video, stick around, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and follow me on this journey. And hopefully my editing will start to get better as we go through this. Anyway guys, as always, keep your ears to the ground and your eyes to the sky, and I'll see you next time.